Welcome to the garage, folks, and today I want to cover this right here. Why I haven't used my Honda HSS1332ATD. A lot of you guys, subscribers, know that I used to make a ton of Honda HSS content, and I've been slacking. I really haven't used the machine that often. I use it maybe once or twice a year for the bigger storms, 12 inches or more, okay? And we haven't got a lot of big storms here in southern New Hampshire. So that's also the reason why I haven't used the snowblower. I tend to use it when we have the taller snowfalls that are a little bit too much for the ATV plow. Now, the ATV plow I use is a Polaris 1000, and I have a 5.5-foot plow, which works great for all sorts of, general snowfall. But once it starts getting up to 12 inches, 15 inches of snow, the ATV plow, which is this right here, tends to still work really good, but what happens is you start making a ton of passes, making a mess because you have all this whatever you want to call it, fall off from the blade, and the snowbanks start to get freaking huge, okay? I start piling up snowbanks 4 feet tall with this thing around the driveway. And guess what happens when you have another snowfall after another big snowfall? You've got it. You've got no more room to push the snow around with the ATV plow. As good as it is for all the general purpose snow plowing and snow removal, I love it because it's super quick and it's easy and it's kind of fun because I'm riding the ATV and I get done a lot quicker compared to the snowblower. The Honda HSS, this thing I've made tons of videos on. I've souped this thing up with the jet upgrade. I make my own custom chute deflectors and covers. I make the auger flaps, which I'll show you in just a second. I still am very interested in making Honda content, but it's just not a lot of snow here in New Hampshire to warrant me using this machine. And I only make content when I actually use my equipment. Okay, this is like real life here. I make videos as life brings it to me. So if I get a really big storm like we are right now, getting 24 inches of snow in southern New Hampshire, it's gonna be a very big storm. I just wanna make one big pass with this thing, with the Honda, and take care of up to 2 feet of snow, 24 inches. 24 inches of snow. This thing is a monster. This thing is, like I said, it has the jetting upgrade, so it just unleashes all 13 plus horsepower off this motor, and it works extremely great. If you don't know, I have a ton of videos in my Honda HSS playlist showing this thing ripping through snow, throwing 60-foot, 70-foot geysers of snow out the back here. And I love the snowblower because you can deposit the snow and throw it, okay, over snowbanks, over areas that normally the snowplow, you just can't get access to, okay? The snowplow is great. It really works great until the end of the season where you start piling up snowbanks and then you're closing yourself in little by little. Even though I try to push it out as far as I can now, I've learned over the years to push it out as far as I can, but still at the end of the season here in New Hampshire, the snowbanks start closing in on you, and then you have no more room to put the snow, and I have to use the snowblower. And this 32-inch Honda 1332, freaking phenomenal, especially with the jetting upgrade. I did all sorts of crazy tests on this thing when I did the jetting. I actually tested the AFR, okay, for each one of the jets. And it ended up being the 110 jet for my elevation, which is about 500 feet above sea level. The 110 jet was the perfect fit, okay? It got me to the really good air-fuel ratio, under load, and with full throttle, okay? Now, there's gonna be all sorts of opinions on that, but the 110 jet, for me, really opened this thing up, and I could tell that it was really, optimizing the machine for what it is. It is a complete ripper. But let me go over right now. I did a quick oil change, and I wanna show you how I do that, kind of the tail end of it. And some of the other things I have to do, I have to remove the heated grips because the grip pulled out and broke the wire. So I'm going to have all sorts of different videos coming up soon, hopefully, of the updates on that. But let me show you really quick what's going on here. So we have my 1332, and as you can see here, this is how I drain and fill my oil. So when I drain the oil, obviously this is the drain plug right here. A 10 millimeter takes care of that, loosens it up, and then I have this little nifty bottle that I cut. This is actually like a fuel stabilizer bottle, And then I put a container here down at the bottom, okay, to drain the oil. Nice and neatly, and it gets past the tracks. As you can see here, I'm filling it up. I've already filled it up. And now it's time to check the oil dipstick, which is right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off after the video, but you get the idea. I have this nice big transmission funnel filling up with the bungee cord holding it up so I can just pour it in and have it directly fill into the oil access hole here where you fill the oil. And then I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, and top it off and take a reading and make sure I have the proper oil level. So what else is going on with the Honda HSS? Well, I have to remove these grips, okay? Right here is the problem. I went ahead and I was using this last year and this thing just ripped right out right at the end of the season. So as you can see, this thing just pulls right out. It's because this thing is sleeved. Now I can go ahead and just glue this back on, okay? Because all it is the adhesive I used wasn't as strong, or I should have put more. But there's a problem, okay? I can't use the heated grip anymore because it's completely severed from the wire, the power wire. So even though I can go ahead and like glue that back on, it's not going to be functional. I have all sorts of videos covering this topic. As you can see, I have the little intelligent controller. I'm not going to mention the names of these because I had someone contact me for some trademark infringement on this grip here. I'm not going to name the name, but I have to take these off. They're, I guess, a copy or a clone. I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of kind of debacle with this because I used the naming or the language in the video, which I have deleted. I've had to edit that video a lot. I've had to cut out the audio because of all sorts of YouTube stuff and copyright. But I will do a replacement video. I'm going to put a new set of heated grips on here. And I'm not sure which ones yet, but I'll search what's out there and what's the perfect fit for the Honda HSS. And I'll do a replacement video, an update video on these grips. But I do like the heated grips. They are a really nice, upgrade on this machine. Already being a $4,000 machine, you would think that they would already have heated grips, but they don't. I didn't pay $4,000. When I bought this, it was 2007, and I got it out the door for $3,000, just to let you know. Today, I'm pretty sure they're over $4,000, the ATD model, the 1332. But I'm going to have to go ahead and rip out the wiring for this for right now. I'm going to do that because I don't want to deal with that wire just dangling there. And like I said, I'm going to finish off topping off the oil. Let's see what else is on here for 2026 on the Honda. I have my chute deflector. This right here, I made a ton of videos on covering how I make them, why I make them, and the theory behind this. This is to prevent blow-by. Now, I went ahead and removed the factory collar. There is no welded collar at the bottom. It's completely open, just like the previous generation HS models, which had no collar, and they operated perfectly. There was no need to add in a collar with this generation of machine. The HSS did something really stupid in adding that collar in there. The engineers for Honda, I don't know why, but this chute does not need it. This chute is strong enough by itself. It does not need a collar or a U-shaped collar at the base of the chute. So I ground that out. I have all sorts of videos covering these modifications, so check out my Honda playlist. But anyways, I have my chute deflector, which keeps the snow located in the chute. You're not going to get all this extra blow-by coming around. It helps especially when you have the chute rotated counterclockwise or clockwise to the extreme, okay? Because you can actually back shoot with this machine if you don't know. You can rotate it this way, and then it gets all over the headlight, and also mostly on this side, not really the other side. You get a lot of buildup all over the hood and the headlight. So to prevent that, that's how I came up with this. I want to keep the blow-by contained to the chute, and it actually projects a nice tight stream. I have videos of this in action, so I'm not going to go over that. You can go ahead and watch those videos. I'll try to link them in the upper cards on the right or below the video. But also what I have on here are the auger flaps. Now, some of you guys might not know what these are. I made these, and they go kind of in the open space on the auger shaft, and they just kind of freely like rotate. Now the whole point of this is to prevent ice buildup, and it basically does that just as I described. So nothing really builds up on here because these are constantly moving. They're constantly moving and nothing is able to build up because it falls off because this thing's constantly in motion. That's the principle of how this works, and that's how it works. Nothing is able to stay put on there, and you don't have a massive clump of ice and snow building up on your auger. So those are the auger flaps. I make them out of the same material as the cover here, the chute deflector cover. And that's about it for the HSS. Like I said, I'm going to make a video of possibly the snow removal here after the snow is all done and said for. It's probably going to be tomorrow or the next day. But I want to go over really quick kind of some 2026 updates on the Honda, because I know a lot of you guys have watched my Honda content, but in the past years, I've done other garage and workshop related stuff and branched off into other things. The Honda stuff really does not get a lot of views. There's not a lot of people out there watching the Honda content, even though you guys are diehards just like me. I still love the Honda. It's right here in the garage. I keep it well maintained. I spray this thing down with Honda polish every year when I put it away, put the cover on it, and then every once in a while I'll put a battery tender. This thing yesterday, when I removed the cover, started right up without a glitch. I haven't had a tender on this thing for like 3 months. Okay, that tells you the quality of the battery and the quality of the machine we have here. So started right up. I was so thrilled that even my wife was like, "What the hell are you hooting and hollering about down there?" And I was just so happy and just so overjoyed. But anyways, I'll try to get you guys a snow removal Honda HSS video pretty soon after the snow's done. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Check out my Honda playlist, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a nice day.